A very good morning and Jai Hind children. Welcome to your physics class. Children, as I have told you in the previous class that from today we will start with the revision of the previous chapter. So the first chapter in physics is measurement and motion that we have already studied. Alright, so I hope everybody has prepared this chapter and revised once, measurement and motion. So we are going to start with this chapter, measurement and motion, the revision of this chapter. So children, first what we are going to do is, first we will study about the few important points in this chapter. Alright, so I'll go through the chapter first and simultaneously you will learn all the exercise. Very short answer question, choose the most appropriate answer, short answer questions, long answer question, HOTS. Alright, so that is your homework, that will be your homework to learn the exercise. But here we will revise the chapter. Okay, so I'll tell you what are the important points and important lines. Okay, so children, now please get ready with your rough notebook, your science book, and open this chapter, measurement and motion. That is chapter number 11, measurement and motion. Please open this chapter. We are going to start with the revision of this chapter. Okay, so children, as the chapter name says, measurement and motion. So in this chapter we are going to study about two topics. First is measurement and second is motion. So today we are going to revise the first term, that is measurement, and second, in the next class we'll do the revision of motion. Okay, so I am going to share the PDF of the chapter. So we'll start one by one. So children, please open this chapter, measurement and motion. Let's start with it. So measurement and motion is the chapter. Chapter number 11 is measurement and motion. So children, as the name of the chapter says, measurement. Measurement क्या होता है? To measure anything. And what all things we measure? We measure n number of things. Every day, in every walk of life, we measure something or the other. Like we can measure the length of the table. We can measure the length of a line. We can even measure the volume of the water that we drink in a day, or we can also measure the volume of a glass, like आप कितना milk दिन भर में ले रहे हो, that also we can measure. So everything that can be measured, that is called measurement. Okay, so we can measure the length of the cricket pitch, we can measure the amount of sugar that we are adding in something. हम क्या कहते हैं? Add 1 spoon of sugar or add 2 tablespoons of sugars. So the measurement, the thing that we are actually seeing in a quantity that we can measure is called measurement. Okay, so we'll study about it in detail. So everything that can be measured, everything that can be measured is a physical quantity. Turn the page, children, and come to the first topic, that is physical quantities. This is very, very, very important, children. So let's start with it. I'll explain you here. So children, if we talk about the first topic of this chapter, this is very important and it is a physical quantity. Okay. So we are talking about physical quantity. So as the name says, physical quantity. So we'll see what it is. So physical quantity. What is quantity? What is quantity? Quantity is the amount of anything. Quantity is the amount. Quantity is amount. And here they are saying physical quantity. Physical means that we can see. Alright. So anything, किसी भी ऐसी चीज जिसको हम देख सकते हैं और उसकी क्वांटिटी, उसके अमाउंट को मेजर कर सकते हैं, is a physical quantity. So I'll take one example. let's take an example of, so let's take, this is one line. So the first point is A and last point is B. So if I ask you to measure the length of this line, can we measure it? Yes, definitely we can measure it with the help of a ruler. Alright, everybody must be having a ruler. So with the help of a scale or a ruler, we can measure the length of this line, that is AB. So consider this line is coming to be 6 centimeter. Alright, so we can measure the length. Alright, we can measure the length. Clear? This is called length. And second, if we have a glass, alright, this is a glass and a milk is filled in this glass. Alright, milk is there in this glass. और आपसे कोई कह रहा है कि how much milk you drink in a day? How much milk you drink in a day? So we can measure it. We can say it as I drink a half liter milk, or we can say that I drink 1 liter of milk in a day. So this quantity can also be measured. Alright. Similarly, if we talk about time, so for how long this period will run? If somebody asks you for how long this period will run, so you will say 30 minutes. What you will say? 30 minutes. So what is this 30 minutes? We are measuring the time. We are telling the accurate time. We are telling the accurate length here. We are telling the accurate volume here. So everything that can be measured, everything here that can be measured is called physical quantity. Alright? Everything like this length is a physical quantity. Here we are calculating the volume. So this is a physical quantity. Here we can calculate the time. So it is a physical quantity. So all the quantities that can be measured, the quantity that can be measured is called a physical quantity. Alright, let's see what is written in the book. So all the quantities, everything that we can measure, everything that has a volume, that is having a measurement, is called a physical quantity. Like for example, take the speed of a car. So speed of a car is, we can measure the speed of a car. Okay, we can measure the temperature of a day. आप जब डेली स्कूल में when school was there, आप डेली न्यूज़ जब आप न्यूज़ पढ़ते थे तो you used to tell the temperature of the day, climate of the day. Yes, whether it is hot, whether it is cold, or an average temperature of 35 degrees Celsius or average temperature of 30 degrees Celsius is there. So you were telling the accurate measurement of the temperature. You were telling the accurate temperature. Alright. Similarly, when you go to market to purchase a vegetable, the vegetable seller also gives you in a fixed quantity. हमको 1 किलो आलू चाहिए, हमको 1 किलो टमाटर चाहिए. Okay, so when you go to market with your parents, so they ask ना हमें 1 किलो आलू, हमें आधा किलो टमाटर, हमें इतना दे दीजिए. So what is these measurement? They can be measured. Potatoes, tomatoes, all these things, all these vegetables can be measured. Alright. So all the quantities that can be measured is called physical quantity. Quantities like length, weight, time, temperature and speed that can be measured are called physical quantity. Getting my point? So what is physical quantity? Everything, every quantity that can be measured, जिसको भी हम measure कर सकते हैं. Take a length of the table or take a like the weight of your book. Everything we can measure. So the things that we can measure is called a physical quantity. So what are physical quantity? Length is a physical quantity. Weight is a physical quantity. Time, temperature, speed, all these things are a physical quantity. So let's see. So what are physical quantities? So there are few physical quantities, that is length, alright, that is mass, that is weight. So all these things are what? They are physical quantities because we can measure them. So as we can measure them, so they are called a physical quantity. In fact, time is also a physical quantity. But children, earlier what used to happen? Earlier when there were no instrument, when there were no such instruments to measure, we don't used to have a ruler, we don't used to have a scale, we don't have to use we don't have that measuring balance. जब ये सारी चीज़ें नहीं होती थी तो उस टाइम पे people used to measure the things with their hands or with their legs or a footstep. Alright, जैसे कि if I take this consider if I am taking again this your book. Alright, so this is your book. If I ask you, हमारे पास अभी तो स्केल है, रूलर होती है, तो we can measure it. But earlier, suppose we don't have a ruler. Okay, suppose we don't have a ruler or we don't have anything to measure the length of this book. So what we are going to do is, we will be measuring it with the help of our hand. Consider this one hand and two hands. Alright, one hand and two hands. Okay. So by this method, people earlier used to measure the length of anything. But now see, so the length of my hand is different from that of yours. आपका छोटा होगा, मेरा बड़ा है, हो सकता है मेरा छोटा है और हो सकता है आप लोग का बड़ा हो. Alright, so every individual is having their, the sizes of the hand, the sizes of foot are different for each and every person. Okay, it varies from person to person. Getting my point? So because it was varying from person to person, it was not making accurate. It was not giving you an accurate measurement. जैसे कि consider आपको 1 मीटर और consider I am calling from like हम यहाँ से फ़ोन कर रहे हैं बॉम्बे, हमें कोई कपड़ा या कोई फैब्रिक चाहिए. Alright, so I am calling and I am saying that I want one like 5 hands of cloth, 5 hands long cloth. Okay, अब हमने तो यहाँ से 5 hands calculate कर लिया, but the person who is calculating there must have the difference in size of the hand from mine. मेरी हाथ से उसके हाथ का साइज डिफरेंट होगा, तो उसने क्या किया, हमको बहुत बड़ा लेंथ का कपड़ा भेज दिया. Are you getting my point? So that was not an accurate way to measure the things, and that is why it was decided to have a fixed unit for the measurement. So there was a need for a units measurement which could be uniformly used everywhere, जो सब जगह एक जैसी हो. That or such units are called standard unit. This is important beta. So that unit is called standard unit. So first we have talked about physical quantity. So what is physical quantity? In any quantity that can be measured like length, weight, mass, time, temperature, speed. All these things that can be measured is a physical quantity. Okay, but if we are measuring it uniformly throughout, like everybody is using the same unit for measurement, that is called standard unit. What it is called? Standard unit. Okay, so we'll talk about the standard unit in much detail in the next topic. First, let's understand what is measurement. So we have learned about physical quantity. Anything that can be measured, any quantity that can be measured is called a physical quantity. Now coming on to the measurement. Okay, now let's see again. Let's again take the example. So I am again taking the example here. Okay. So let's again take an example. So this is a one line. Okay. Consider a line and consider this point as A and consider this point as B. Okay. Somebody asked you to measure the length of A and B. What is the question? Question is to measure the length of A and B. Okay. So you will take a ruler or a scale and you will measure it. Okay. Consider it to be 8 centimeter long. Okay. So consider it to be 8 centimeter. So children, if you observe it clearly, we are having two different entities here. First is the number and second is the unit. Are you getting it? First is the number and second here is the unit. So centimeter that we are using here, this centimeter is a unit. This is what? This is a unit. Alright. But this 8 is number. What is 8? 8 is number. And this is the measurement. So any measurement is consisting of two entities. First is the number or the numerical value. Second is the unit. Okay. So every measurement is containing two entities, number and unit. Okay. So coming back to the chapter. So let's see what is written here. See. You must have measured the length of a line segment using a scale. You may find that the length of a measurement of a line segment is 10 centimeter. Okay? So next again it consists of two parts. So a number and the name of the unit. So we have two parts, number and name of the unit. So the number is 10 and the unit is centimeter. So this unit centimeter is the standard length that is known to us. Okay? चाहे आप यहाँ पे उस length को measure करें, चाहे when you go to any other place and then measure that length, the length will come to be same if you are measuring it with the help of a scale or a ruler. Okay? अगर आप उसको scale से measure कर रहे हो तो the length will come same. सेम आएगा. आप अगर मेजर कर रहे हो तब भी 10 सेंटीमीटर आएगा. इफ आई एम मेजरिंग इट देन ऑल्सो इट विल कम टू बी 10 सेंटीमीटर. इफ somebody else is measuring it again that will come to be 10 centimeter. So it is coming uniform, same all over, like same everywhere and every time. So such units are called standard units. Such units are called standard units. Okay. So when you measure length, you compare the unknown length with this known length. So what we are doing here, like always we compare it with something or the other. जैसे कि if I say you are a good boy, if I am saying that you are a good boy, so I am knowingly or unknowingly comparing you with the other guy or the other boy. Okay, I am comparing you with the other boy, that you are good than that person. Getting my point? Similarly, measurement is also done here in comparison to other. Okay, if I say your brother is taller, okay, so what does that mean? Your brother is taller than you. Okay, or your sister is smaller, so your sister is smaller than you. Getting my point? So we are comparing, we are always comparing. Alright, so this measurement is also we are comparing the things. Okay, like this unknown length, we are comparing it with the unknown length. So 10 centimeter means that the length you have measured is 10 times as much as the known unit. Getting my point? So this is measurement. So how we define measurement? Measurement is the comparison of unknown quantity with some fixed quantity of same kind. This is important, of same kind. So let me again explain it to you with the help of a PPT. So coming to the PPT, children. So if I talk about the measurement here, so see, this is a pencil Consider this is a pencil and this is a ruler. So we are measuring the length of this pencil. So consider the length of a pencil is coming to be 16 centimeter. So here 16 is the number and centimeter is the unit of measurement. Okay. So what is important in measurement? We always compare the unknown length with the known length. Okay. And comparison is between the same kind. So now I am going to explain you these 2 points. Let's see. So here 16 centimeter means 16 times greater than the unknown length. Okay? For example, whenever we are measuring anything, we need to compare, like for example, Rahul is taller again. So this is not a complete statement. Complete statement is Rahul is taller than Ankit. So here we are comparing the two things. Here we are comparing the two things. Similarly, the next point says comparison is between the same kind. So let's take the example here. So you can see these two figures. इस figure में क्या है? There is one boy standing here and then we have a tree. Okay, and here there are two boys. So if I am comparing a boy with the help of a length of a tree, is it comparable? No, because the humans are having a fixed height, whereas the biological component and everything of tree is different, of plant is different. So this comparison is not good. This comparison is not feasible. But if I am comparing these two boys, the height of these two boys, that he is taller than this boy. So this is a feasible comparison. This is a good comparison. This is logical. Okay. अगर हम आपकी हाइट को किसी बिल्डिंग की हाइट से कंपेयर करें तो it is not comparable. It is not compatible. Okay. But if I am comparing the height of you with your brother or sister, that is compatible. Getting my point? So what is measurement? Measurement is the comparison of unknown quantity with some fixed quantity of same kind. Okay, this is called measurement. Clear? Now moving ahead with our next topic, that is standard unit. So what is a standard unit? So we have just talked about the standard unit. So what is a standard unit? The unit that is universal or uniform all over, everywhere, if that unit is uniform. Like if I am sitting here and I am telling that the length of this table is 3 meters or 2 meters, the person sitting outside the India or the person sitting outside this Banaras will also say that the length of this table is 3 meters. Getting my point? So such units is called standard unit. अगर हम किसी चीज को सेंटीमीटर में कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं तो बाहर वाला पर्सन भी उसको सेंटीमीटर में ही कैलकुलेट करेगा. If we are comparing it in the meter, then that person will compare it in meter only. So there are certain units. Okay. So that is called, this system or this unit is called a standard unit. Let's see what is written. Till a few years ago, different countries had their own units of measurement. This was very confusing. ट्रेडिंग करने में बेसिकली अगर हमें यहाँ से कोई चीज़ इंपोर्ट करनी है या हमें कोई चीज़ एक्सपोर्ट करनी है यहाँ से और कोई चीज़ इंपोर्ट करनी है तो इसमें बहुत प्रॉब्लम होती थी. ओके. So the General Conference of Weights and Measures recommended that a common system should be used. So what is this common system? This common system is SI system. What is the full form of SI? It is System International Units. System International Units. So this is the full form of SI. System International मतलब कि internationally these units are same. Okay. So in this system the standard unit of length, mass and times are, this is very important beta. Meter is the standard unit of length. We always measure the length in meter and the symbol of meter is m, small m. Okay. Kilogram is the standard unit of mass and the symbol is kg. Okay. Second is the standard unit of time and the symbol is small s. So they are called SI units or SI systems, which is uniform all over the world. So it is uniform all over the world. Getting my point? So again I am repeating it. Meter is the SI unit of length. Symbol is m, small m. Kg is the standard unit of mass. The symbol is kg, like kilogram is the standard unit of mass and symbol is kg. Second is the standard unit of time. So it is represented as small s. Okay. So mass, time and meter. Getting it? So the SI system is used uniformly all over the world for all scientific work. Okay. However, in everyday measurement, other systems are still used. Like we have a FPS system. What is FPS? Foot, pound and second. F stands for foot, P stands for pound and S stands for second. CGS system, which is C stands for centimeter, G stands for gram, S stands for second. Then we have MKS system. M stands for meter, K stands for kilogram and S stands for second, which uses the same standard unit for length, mass, time as SI system. Okay, so I hope you are getting my point, children. So we have different units for different measurement. So let's see. Just a second. So we are having a different unit for different measurement. So what is important here is that we are following the MKS system. Okay, MKS system. So what is M here? M stands for meter, K stands for kilogram and S stands for second. This is called MKS system. Okay, this is called MKS system. The symbol of meter is small m. Kilogram is represented as kg, small k and g. Second is represented as s. Apart from these MKS system, we also have FPS system, that is foot, pound and second. Then we have CGS system, that is centimeter, gram and second. Okay, and then we have MKS system. So apart from measuring the things in meter, kilogram and second, we can also measure it in as FPS, CGS and MKS. Okay, children, this is important here that these are the SI units, which is universal all over the world. So that is why it is called SI system or SI unit. Getting my point? Okay, so this is important, children. Okay, then we are coming on to the next topic, that is multiples and submultiples. Okay, so multiples and submultiples का क्या मतलब होता है? I'll just explain you and then we'll continue this topic in the next class. So multiples and submultiples का क्या मतलब होता है? See, if I am giving you a small scale, okay, so if you look carefully to the scale is just this much small and it has reading till 15, isn't it? If you see very closely to the scale, it is having a reading till 15. ठीक, अब consider अगर if we have to measure the length from your school to the house, आपके स्कूल से आपके घर की डिस्टेंस कितनी है? If we have to measure it, so can you take that same ruler and measure the length of, like measure the distance of your school and home? No, we cannot do it. Alright. Again, if I have to measure the distance from Banaras to Allahabad, can I measure it with the help of a meter scale? No, I cannot measure it. So for that we require certain greater unit. We require certain more units to measure these long distances. And same with the very small tiny distance. If I ask you to measure the thickness of a coin, can we again measure it with the help of a ruler? No, we cannot. So for that also we require a very smaller unit than the ruler. Okay. So what is multiple here? Multiple here is multiplying. मल्टीप्लाई हम जब भी करते हैं तो हमेशा यूनिट बढ़ती है. ठीक. सब मल्टीपल मतलब हम यहाँ डिवाइड कर रहे हैं तो यूनिट क्या होगी? कम होगी. Okay. So multiple means when we have to calculate a longer distance, so we will multiply. If we have to calculate a smaller distance, then this centimeter long scale, so then we will divide. Okay. So these are the units. Children, for today the homework is please go through this table, length, mass and time, this table 11.2, and please do learn the exercise of this chapter, that is choose the most appropriate answer, very short answer question and short answer question. So this is your today's homework, that is you have to learn this table 11.2 and choose the most appropriate answer and very short answer question. So children, please go through this. Hope you have understood it. In case of any doubt, please do ask in the group. Okay, please revise this chapter, children, start studying. Okay, so that's all for today's class. Thank you and Jai Hind, children.